Okay, we're going to work on mass-to-mass stoichiometry. It's the one that requires the most steps. I'm going to refer to the, the practice number 3, stoichiometry practice number 3, and I'm going to work on number 5, though I'm not going to do the entire problem. With mass-to-mass, of course, with every stoichiometry problem, you need to figure out where you're starting from. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and put together the chemical equation that you're going to use. I also went ahead and balanced it already. So you have chloride combined with sodium bromide yields sodium chloride plus bromine molecules. When we look at the instructions to the problem, it says that we have 10.00 grams of chlorine, so that's our given, and then we need to figure out how many grams of bromine we have, so that's our unknown. I'm going to follow the standard format for mass-to-mass stoichiometry. I'm going to start with the number of grams given. Then I'm going to multiply it by the moles of the given over the molar mass of the given. Then I'm going to multiply it by the coefficients of the given and the unknown, which I get from the chemical equation. And then I'm going to multiply by the molar mass of the unknown over the mole of the unknown. So that's my format always for mass-to-mass equations. Now let's go ahead and apply it to this particular problem. First thing we need are the grams given. So the given is 10.0 grams of chlorine. So I'm going to go ahead and write 10.00 grams of chlorine. Next thing, I have to determine the molar mass of my chlorine. So I'm going to say I have 1 mole of the given, so I'm going to put 1 mole right there. Then I need to determine how many grams of chlorine are in 1 mole. Well, this is called molar mass, and molar mass can always be found on the periodic table. When I look for chlorine, I see many charges, but I'm not so concerned with those today. What I'm concerned with is the atomic mass. The atomic mass of chlorine is about 35.5. So when I look and I see I have a chloride ion, I've got 2 atoms of chlorine bonded together. Each one of them is 35.5 grams, so the total mass of Cl2 is 70 grams. Then I'm going to move on to the next section. I'm going to compare the moles of bromine to the moles of chlorine, and that's where I'm going to use my coefficients that come from my equation. So I'm comparing chlorine and I'm comparing bromine, and you see that I have 1 mole of chlorine and 1 mole of bromine. So I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to write 1 and 1. The last step I'm going to take is I'm going to figure out the molar mass of bromine, because that's what I've been working toward. So I'm going to take 1 mole of the unknown, that is 1 mole of bromine, and I'm going to figure out how many grams that is. I go to the periodic table, I see that 1 mole of bromine is about 80 grams. So if I've got Br2, that means that I have about 160 grams. So now I have 10.00 times 1 times 1 times 160. I'm going to write it out here. Over 70 times 1 times 1. This is the math that I'm doing. When I get done with it, I should see on one of my pieces of paper, oh, here it is, that I get a number somewhat like 22.8571. I have to check back for significant digits, so I'm going to look back at the very beginning, and my given has 1, 2, 3, 4 significant digits, so my answer has to have 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 significant digits. So I have 22.8, watch out, 86, because the 7 rounds up. And the units are over here. I have grams of bromine. So that is my final answer.